plateau. And so, and I'm getting the slides actually from Gauranga Darshan Das Prabhu, who is in Govardhan Eco Village in India. He writes nice summarization of Srimad Bhagavatam. Um, so uh, so this is a great resource to have. And then he also has a YouTube channel where if you search for Bhagavata Pravaha, you can get all the lectures that he has. There are 70 lectures for Srimad Bhagavatam, and so now we are actually in the 40th lecture. So we have completed more than half of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so the how the ninth canto starts is Sukadev Goswami uh, mentioned about Satyavrata Maharaj. If you remember, after the um, Vamanadev and Bali Maharaj pastime, we discussed about Satyavrata Maharaj, about the big fish that was growing, and then he had to put into the ocean, and then the big fish, the Lord who came as Matsya Avatar, was described there. So so Satyavata Maharaj appeared in the Vaivasvata Manu. So we already discussed that one day of Brahma can be divided into 14 parts, and each part of that day is called a Manvantara. That's where a Manu rules. And then in the lifetime of each Manu, there is the Devatas, the demigods, right? Headed by Indra. And all of these are posts. So it's described who is coming in as Indra in each Manvantara. And the seven sages, they all change every Manvantara. So those are all wonderfully described. And we are actually now in the seventh Manvantara of Brahma's day. So we are in the half of the day is going on. And then no, each Manvantara has 71 Divya Yugas. So you know what a Divya Yuga is? Anybody?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah.
When the four yugas, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga,
Mm.
and Satyuga,
Ten,
these
10,
all
man.
Mhm.
combined are called a Divya Yuga.
It's
Yes,
10, bro.
very good. Yes. So Nitinji, if you want to mute if you're not talking for the class, so that will be good. So so the four there are 71 Divya Yugas. You can imagine how many human years that is, because one um one Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Um, so then, um, so 10 times that period is a Divya Yuga, because twice that of Kali Yuga is Dwapara Yuga, and then three times Kali Yuga is Treta Yuga, and four times Kali Yuga is Satya Yuga. So 4 plus 3, 7, plus 2, 9, plus 1, 10. So total period is 10 times Kali Yuga is one Divya Yuga. So so you can see it is like 4,320,000 human years is one Divya Yuga, and 71 of those makes one Manvantara. And that is the lifespan of Manu, the Devatas, that is headed by Indra, like Soma, Chandra, Vayu, all of those, they have this lifetime of 71 Divya Yugas, or one Manvantara, it's called. But Brahma lives for, it's just one day of Brahma will have 14 such Manvantara. It's mind-boggling to understand like how big the lifetime of all these exalted personalities are. But then, as humans, we live at most for 100 years. But like an insect, they live for sometimes a day. So for the insect, they'll think, oh, these humans, they have such a big lifespan. So similarly, we are looking at Brahma's life day and thinking, oh, that's such a long life. But then everybody and everything in the material world has a fixed time. So um, but we are all eternal souls. We actually, our body dies, but we don't die. So this is our opportunity to purify ourselves and go back to the Lord in His abode, where there is no dying. So Sukadev Goswami was explaining about Vaivasvata Manu, and then Parikshit Maharaj wanted to know who are the descendants of this Vaivasvata Manu, because that is the period we are currently in. We discussed about the descendants of the like Swayambhuva Manu, the other Manus in the second Manvantara. Let's talk about the seventh Manvantara, and that's how this whole topic of the ninth canto begins. So Vaivasvata Manu did not have a descendant, so he was praying to the Lord, and then um, he there was a big sacrifice going on. So Vaivasvata Manu wanted a son who could become his successor. However, Vaivasvata Manu's wife did wanted a daughter. So she secretly told the sage that, chant the mantras to get a daughter. So then a daughter was born instead of a son, and her name was Ila. And then, so Vasishta Muni is the main priest. So Vaivasvata Manu went to Vasishta and said, "Oh, please, I really wanted a son so that he can take care of the kingdom." So Vasishta, the Vasishta Muni prayed to the Lord and um, converted Ila into a man, and his name became Sadyumna. So Ila and Sadyumna, so it's the same person. And then what happened was um, this Sadyumna went to the forest for hunting, and when he entered into a forest called Sukumara, his gender changed into a female again. So what? He was like, even his horse turned into a mare or a female horse. So he didn't understand what's going on. Um, I'm a man, now I'm a female. So actually what is happening is in this forest is the abode of Lord Shiva and Parvati. And Lord Shiva, for the privacy of Parvati Devi, had said, anybody who enters this forest will become a female. So that's how Sudhimna became a female again. So Ila, she's now a female, and she meets Buddha, and they have a son Pururava. Um, but then Sudyumna goes and prays to Vasishta Muni, and Vasishta Muni prays to Lord Shiva, and what Lord Shiva says, okay, uh, Ila, you can become a man every other month. Every alternate month you'll be a man, then you'll turn into a female. So it's just a small, interesting story. So, today we see that, uh, just transgender and people want to change from one gender to the other. It's already described in Srimad Bhagavatam with these personalities who actually changing their gender every month. So Dyumna regains his maleness, and then he does have three kids, Utkala, Gaya, and Vimala. Don't have to remember all these names except like the main personalities for the Kahoot. So don't worry about, all these. There are so many names in these dynasties. And the important aspect is Srimad Bhagavatam. Why is it giving us all these names? Because Srimad Bhagavatam is not like a mythological or imaginative story. This is history. It's itihasa, and giving all these details of who is the son of who is is ensuring that every person understand that this is not a fictitious person. This is actually a descendant of a king, and all of these great personalities are real. It's not just a fictional story. So let's talk about the dynasty of Manu, Vaivasvata Manu. So when Sudyumna retired, so the alternate male and female person, he retired, and then Vaivasvata Manu wanted more descendants because this descendant is retired. So he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord gave him 10 sons. So Ikshwaku, Nriga, Sarayati, Drishta, Karu, Karusaka, Narishyanta, Prasadra, Nabhaga, and Kavi. So we won't be, going into details of each person, but Ikshwaku we'll discuss a little later. He was born from the sneeze of Vaivasvata Manu. So when you sneeze, the sounds like Ikshwaku, Ikshwaku, Ikshwaku. So his name became Ikshwaku. So that's an interesting point. Now we're going to discuss about one of his sons, Prasadra. So Prasadra was given the service of taking care of cows. And one day, when it was dark, a tiger entered the Goshala. And Prasadra, he has to protect the cows, so he tried to kill the tiger, but actually the tiger got away, and actually a cow got killed. And Vasishta Rishi was very angry that a cow was killed by Prasidra, so he cursed Prasidra that he would be born as a Sudra in his next life. But this story is important because Prasadra did not know. He was trying to protect the cow, but unknowingly the cow died. And Prasadra became a great devotee, and he was repenting for the death of the cow, and also praying to the Lord with so much bhakti that actually the curse became annulled, and Prasadra went back home, back to God. And he did not have to be born as a Sudra in the next life. So this is what we can see, that even though we get a lot of karma in our life, if we surrender to the Lord can change any bad situation into a good situation. Um, so that's why we have to, just not just do karma, prayashchitta, look at our horoscope, because Krishna has the power to change any horoscope at any bad time and give us the best if we are willing to surrender to him and be in a totally helpless position and beg for the mercy of the Lord. So that's what happened to Prasadra. And then there were other descendants. Um, so we'll be discussing about these Nabhaga, Sarayati, Nriga, and Ikshwaku. So, one of the descendants of this Sarayati, it's one of the sons. Sarayati's daughter was Sukanya. So Sarayati took Sukanya to one of the forest and for hunting. And then Sukanya is a beautiful young girl, and she was playing around in the forest, and she saw a big ant hill, and she saw like two shiny objects on the ant hill. It was like nice shining gems. So she took a stick and poked on that. And then everybody who came in the hunting party could not pass stool or urine after this, and everybody is wondering, what did we do? Did we offend anyone or some rishi or something? And then um, Sukanya came clean and said, "Oh, father, I must have done this because I saw this ant hill and I poked onto the shining gem-like effulgence coming out of the ant hill." And then um, her father got very, very nervous because he understood that it was the Chavana Rishi's ashram. So he went to Chavana Rishi and begged for his mercy, so that he won't curse them. So Chavana Rishi said, "Is your daughter married?" So then um, Saryati understood that, oh, looks like Chavana Rishi wants to marry my daughter. Now you see, Chavana Rishi is a very old man, and Chavana Rishi wanted to marry this young beautiful daughter of Sarayati, and Sarayati definitely said, "Oh, please, you can marry my daughter," and he married. So Chavana Rishi married Sukanya, and Sukanya, she was serving her husband so well and making sure all his needs are met, and then he's doing uh, his practices well. And one day, Chavana Rishi was very impressed by Sukanya. So one day, when the Ashwini Kumaras, they are the celestial doctors. So when they came, Chavana Rishi asked them, I want to become young, and you are like the celestial doctor. So can you make me young? So they said, oh, okay, definitely. And Chavana Rishi said, I can give you somras, because only Indra can drink somras, which is it's for the higher devatas, and it is not available for Ashwini Kumara. So Chavana Rishi said, as a return of favor, I will do a big sacrifice and get somaras for you. So Ashwini Kumaras agreed, and they took Chavana Rishi, the old Chavana Rishi, into a lake. And when they emerged out of the lake, all three of them looked the same. And then Sukanya, she was seeing everybody was looking exactly like triplets and exactly dressed the same. And she saw her husband go into the lake, and then when he came back, he is looking like the Ashwini Kumaras. Now, she could have just accepted one of them, but being a very chaste wife, she prayed to Ashwini Kumaras to reveal who her husband is among the three of them. So they were very impressed by the chastity and loyalty of Sukanya to her husband, and they showed her who her husband is, and so Sukanya was living with this young Chavana Rishi, and then Saryati came there, and he was seeing, oh, my daughter, you are bringing such bad name to Vaivasvata Manu's dynasty. I married you off to Chavana Rishi, and you're living with a young man. Why did you run away from your husband to live with this young man? And then Sukanya revealed that this young man is none other than Chavana Rishi. So then there ends that story. Um, so uh, then you can see the dynasties of Sharayati. These are the sons. He had three sons, and then Anartha had son Revata, and Revata had a son Kukudmi and other 99 sons. So the dynasty goes on, and we are going to discuss about Kukudmi. So Kukudmi is a great king, and he had a daughter Revati. Now, Revati was so chaste, beautiful, well mannered. So there was no good husband in this world that could was good enough for Revati. So Kukudmi went to Satyaloka, which is where Brahma is, to understand who would be the right groom for um, Revati. So Kukudmi and Revati went together. And while they were waiting for Brahma, because Brahma was listening to a music performance, and we just talked about how Brahma's day is so long compared to the human day. So while the music performance were going on, 27 Chatur Yugas, or the Divya Yugas that Tarunji was telling us about, um, passed away. So, and when Brahma came, they asked, "Oh, who is the right husband?" And then Brahmaji said, "Okay, actually, the best person for you is Lord Balram." And now the Lord is in earth, so you can go marry your daughter to Lord Balramji. So that's how Revati Devi and Balramji got married. So he came. There's one more interesting part. In those yugas, in the Satya Yuga, everybody is bigger and taller, and as the yugas pass, the height of the personalities become shorter and shorter. So when Revati came to meet Balramji, Balramji was a lot shorter than Revati. So Balramji took his plow, his hull it's called. So he took his plow and touched Revati and made her short enough to be his wife. So that's a pastime of how Balramji got married to Revati. Now we are going to discuss the story of another descendant, Nabhaga. So you see here, this is one of the other 10 sons of Vaivasvata Manu. So Nabhaga is the other next important personality we are going to discuss. So Nabhaga had a son, Nabhaga. So whenever there is, um, a small diacritic or you see a dash above the A, so that means you have to stress on the A. Similarly, Krishna is called Vasudeva, and his father, Devaki and Vasudeva, are his parents, right? So Vasudeva's son is Vasudeva. Similarly, Nabhaga's son is Nabhaga. And so we are slowly coming to Ambarish Maharaj. So Nabhaga's son is Ambarish, and we're going to discuss that story after Nabhaga's story. So Nabhaga had many sons, and Nabhaga was the youngest son. And what happened was they're all in the brahmachari ashram. They are they're studying, and Nabhaga was in the ashram for a longer time. So all the sons of Nabhaga who came back from the ashram after their studies, they divided all the riches and the property of their father king among themselves and left nothing for Nabhaga. So when Nabhaga came, Nabhaga is very innocent kid. So he came and asked his brothers, "Oh, brother, I'm back. Is there any part of the kingdom you're going to give me?" They said, "Oh, actually, you only get our old father. So that is part of your property." So Nabhaga went to his dad Nabhaga and said, "Oh, Dad, I just heard that you are now my property. I'm so happy so that you are with me." And then his dad told him, "You fool, you have been cheated by your brothers. Like your father is not a property to be divided, but now that your brothers are not giving you anything, I am going to give you a plan to go and do a sacrifice." And be part of the Angira Rishi's descendants were conducting a big sacrifice. Go be part of it, and whatever you get from there, you could probably use for your livelihood. So Nabhaga went there, and as soon as the yagya was over and all the riches came out of the yagya, a very dark complexioned person came there. It was actually Lord Shiva in disguise. He came and said, "Actually, I need all the, um, you know, every rich that came out of this yagya, it's mine." And Nabaga, being a very innocent, straightforward person, he said, "Oh, okay. So if you think it is yours, you can take it." And Lord Shiva was very, very impressed with how benevolent and simple this Nabhaga was. So he gave all the riches to Nabhaga, and so Nabhaga became a big king. And then his son is none other than the great Ambarish. So Ambarish Maharaj is one of the greatest devotees of the Lord we are going to discuss now. So Ambarish Maharaj, though he was the great king of Nabhaga, son of Nabhaga, and had a great kingdom, he was a great devotee. So he used to balance his bhakti and with his duty also. So we can learn a lot from Ambarish Maharaj. He's being a great devotee and also taking care of his duty as a great king. So similarly, all of you can be wonderful students, but also you should you should also focus on your spiritual life, being good devotees of the Lord. And let's see what Ambarish Maharaj was doing. How was he a great devotee? So his mind was always focused on the Lord. And um, and he was always with his words, he's always describing about Vaikuntha and the Lord. And then with his hands he was doing cleaning of temples, and always hearing about the Lord. So he was engaging his eyes in seeing the deity of the Lord. He was using his body to embrace other devotees. And he's using his nose to smell the nice tulsi leaves that were offered to the Lord's lotus feet. And then he was using his tongue to always, taste prasadam. So in this world, we know everybody is going after sense enjoyment, right? Like everybody wants to go see beautiful places. They want to go eat the most delicious food, even if it requires to kill animals. They just want to make sure their tongue is feeling the nice sensation of nice taste. And then they want to buy nice fragrance or perfumes so that they can smell. But we can see here that Ambarish Maharaj, he's also using his senses, but he's using those in the service of the Lord. So he's only smelling the nice tulsi that is offered to the Lord. So yeah, this is how we can learn from how to engage our senses, use our desires as spiritual desires. By serving the Lord, we can always get the remnants of what He has been offered, and that becomes prasadam. And then tasting the wonderful prasadam makes us, more spiritual than having the karma accrue in our life when we pursue just material things. So he uh, he always went on pilgrimages to different places of worship, and then he used his head, Siro Hrishikesha Padabhavandane. So he was always putting his head as obeisance to the Lord. Wherever he went, he was humbling himself. And that's why when we go to the temple, we lie down, and it's called dandavat. Danda means a stick. When you break a stick, it'll fall down. So similarly, he falls down and gives obeisances to the Lord, and touches his head on the ground. That is a type of humbling, right? So then, kamam cha dasya na tu kamya ya. So he was using all desires. So he had spiritual desires. So, okay, let me get these nice flowers for the Lord. Let me get nice clothes for the Lord. So his desires were mostly spiritual desires. And he Janashraya Rati. So he Yato Uttama Sloka Janashraya Rati, meaning he was always um, um, building nice relationship with wonderful devotees of the Lord. So he didn't have any connections with bad people, like persons who are always drinking alcohol, smoking. He was using his time to build relationship with the nice devotees of the Lord. So what we can learn is always make sure we have good company, because if we get bad company, their bad habits will reflect on us, and we'll start doing the bad habits. But if we use our time to build relationship with very nice people who are God-fearing and nice devotees of the Lord, we can become better devotees too. So there's a lot to learn from Ambarish Maharaj. And Ambarish Maharaj's citizens, they didn't even want to get liberation. They were having the best time, being the citizens of Ambarish, because Ambarish Maharaj has had God in the center and always serving the Lord, and they were also serving the Lord. So it was actually as if they were living in Vaikuntha. So Kunta means full of misery, and Vaikuntha means no misery. So everybody was satisfied and happy, and they didn't even want liberation. So Ambarish Maharaj was the best in doing his duty as well as exercising bhakti. And we discussed about how Bali Maharaj is the greatest acharya of surrender, right? Actually, Ambarish Maharaj is great in all the nine limbs of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. All nine he was perfect. And he was fully detached, though he had a great kingdom, wonderful family. He had nice offsprings and sons and daughters. He was willing to, do anything to serve the Lord, and he wasn't attached to any of the material opulences. So then we start the story of what happened to show, you know, Ambarish Maharaj is a devotee and he's a Kshatriya. And we know Kshatriyas are considered lower than Brahmanas. But Srimad Bhagavatam is giving a story where a devotee is considered even greater than a regular Brahman because a devotee of the Lord is protected by the Lord. So this is what happened when um, Ambarish Maharaj was fasting for Ekadashi. Every month there are 2 days where the full moon comes, and the 11th day of the moon is called Ekadashi. And for the Ekadashi, everybody fasts. Devotees fast so that all auspiciousness comes to them, and it is a way to show your devotion to the Lord. That your tongue and your tummy is more not as important as serving the Lord. And when you take these fasts, you are surrendering more and more and humbling yourself. So. Ambarish Maharaj used to observe Ekadashi so well by not even taking water. So most devotees, when they take Ekadashi fast, they just fast from grains and pulses or beans. But Ambarish Maharaj was fasting without taking anything, even water. So, while he was about to break his fast, so it's important as much as you're fasting to break your fast at the right time so that you get the benefits of the fast. And Ambarish Maharaj is always doing this so that his citizens will have a good life, not basically for himself, but for the whole kingdom. And while he was about to break his fast, this great rishi, Durvasa Muni, came there. And Durvasa Muni, is a very angry sage. He came there and he said he'll be right back. He'll take a shower and he'll come back. And Ambarish Maharaj said, sure, sure. Why don't you come back and then we will break the fast together. But Durvasa Muni was getting late, and the time to break the fast, there is a certain amount of time on Dwadashi day. 11th day of the moon is Ekadashi, the 12th day is called Dwadashi, and Dwadashi day there is certain hours, maybe it's 1 hour time or 2 hours time. So that time, like between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., you have to break your fast for that particular place. So it was almost becoming 8 a.m. and Durvasa Muni was not coming. Uh, so Ambarish Maharaj wanted to make sure the fast was complete, but he didn't want to disrespect his guest. So he said, "Okay, let me just have some water, so that way I'm not, insulting my guest." Durvasa Rishi, because when he comes, I'll have food with him, but I'll just have some water so that I can break the fast in the stipulated time. So he had some water, and then Durvasa Muni just came in after that and was very angry. And he said, "How could you insult me by drinking water and not waiting for me?" And he took some hair from his head and threw it on the ground, and it became a fiery demon. And he wanted the demon to go kill Ambarish Maharaj, as you can see in this picture. Um, but you know what happened? Ambarish Maharaj was undisturbed. He was surrendering himself. Oh, if I'm supposed to die like this, this is a great rishi. Maybe I have to die like this. So whatever the Lord want, let it happen. And as you can see, he didn't even move from there. Like any other person would have run from there. But Ambarish Maharaj was accepting whatever is going to happen, let it happen. And then what happened was the Lord Sudarshana Chakra came and burned this fiery demon to ashes, and it couldn't do anything to Ambarish Maharaj. And once it burned the demon to ashes, it started going towards Durvasa Rishi. And Durvasa Rishi, as you can see, is running around the whole universe to for protection. So he first went to the Sumeru mountain, and the Sudarshana um, um, disc was still following him. So he went to Satyaloka where he met Brahma, and Brahma said he can't do anything. He went to Lord Shiva in Kailash, and Shiva said, "We are getting our powers from Lord Krishna or Vishnu. There's nothing I can do. Why don't you go to him itself?" So he goes to Vaikuntha and he sees Lord Vishnu. And the Lord says that he is not independent of his devotees. Even though Lord is Atma Rama and he is self satisfied, his interest is to always be uh, serving his own devotees. So the Lord says, I'm bound to my devotees. Um, so he explains to Durvasa that only way is to um, go surrender to Ambarish Maharaj itself. So the Lord says, he doesn't like to enjoy his powers by himself. Just like if you get a prize, you want to share it with your parents and say, "Oh, I got a prize." You want to discuss that with them. Similarly, the Lord always wants to give his opulence to his devotees. So the Lord is saying, "I'm very bound to my devotees. I like to enjoy with my devotees." So so I'm not fully independent of them. So if you offend them, you have to go to them. Um, because no, the Lord's devotees are willing to give up anything, just like Ambarish Maharaj was giving up everything and just accepting whatever Durvasa was saying, though he was not wrong there. So they are willing to give up anything for the Lord. So similarly, the Lord will also do anything to protect his devotees. So we are understanding the heart of the Lord, or what his opinions are with this pastime. So we can see how great it is to be a devotee of the Lord, because the Lord himself wants to help and protect his devotees and provide all that a devotee needs. Um, so the Lord is saying that a chaste wife always controls her husband, because the husband, uh, his wife is so good that whatever the wife says, a husband does. So similarly, the Lord is controlled by his devotees. He's giving that example. Um, and he also says the devotees, they're willing to reject or anything to just serve the Lord. So similarly, the Lord is duty bound to his devotees. So such wonderful, insights we are getting from this pastime. So the Lord says, all the sadhus are in my heart, and I am always in the devotee's heart. So Durvasa suddenly says, "Why? I'm a Brahmin, and I thought Brahmins are dear to you. And how are you siding with this Kshatriya Ambarish?" And then the Lord said, "Actually, he is such a great devotee, and he was actually respecting you by waiting for you. And all he did was to drink some water, which I was the one in his heart gave that idea that he can drink water so that he can get the benefit of his fast as well as wait for you." So so the Lord said, please, you have to go ask for forgiveness and surrender to Ambarish Maharaj to um, to get away from the Sudarshana chakra that will destroy you. So you can see here Durvasa Muni um, ran back to Ambarish Maharaj. And while he was running through all these planets, a year had passed, and Ambarish Maharaj was waiting um, all this time for um, to see what Durvasa Muni needs. And when Durvasa Muni came and fell on his feet, oh, Ambarish said, "Oh, you are a great Brahmana. You shouldn't be falling on my feet." And Durvasa Muni said, "Only you can help me from this Sudarshana Chakra." And then Ambarish Maharaj prayed to the Lord and said, "If all the good aspects that I've done so far, me and my family, let all that be used to protect this Durvasa Rishi." Um, and you can see how the devotee is paradukha dukhi, and he's willing to give up all the good aspects of whatever he has done to help this Durvasa Rishi. So Durvasa Rishi understands how great a devotee of the Lord is. It doesn't matter if you're Kshatriya, Brahmana, or any other classification of the society. It is your devotion to the Lord that matters, and that will bring all good qualities. And then the Durvasa Muni went and started praising Ambarish Maharaj in the rest of the universe. So, um, so this is the wonderful story. I'm just having to speed up because it's almost time. Um, there is one more story we have to cover. That is that of Saubhari Rishi. So Saubhari Muni um, got married to Mandata. Mandata is also um, a descendant of Manu. So as you can see here, Manu, Ikshwaku, we discussed that he had 100 sons. He divided the kingdom, and out of that there was okay, there's a small story in here also. There was a person known as Vikukshi who was hunting animals for a sacrifice, but he ate he ate a rabbit because he was hungry, and so he got sent out of the kingdom by Vasishta Rishi. And then only when Ikshaku renounced Vikukshi came back. And as you can see here, Bhikkhukshi had a son with three names. His name there was Puranjaya, Indravaha, and Kukutsta. These were the name of same person. Puranjaya because he conquered the demons abode, and then Indravaha because Indra came to ride the bull that was carrying this person, so Indravaha, and Kukutsa because he sat on the hump of the bull to do the fighting. So it's just small stories about the descendants. But then an important aspect here is Mandata. Mandata is one of the descendants here of Vaivasvata Manu, and he had 50 daughters. And his 50 daughters got married to a person called as Saubhari Muni. And Saubhari Muni was actually under the ocean doing a lot of penance. And suddenly he saw two fishes coming together, uniting, and that was enough to for him to say, "Oh, I also have to find a wife and have kids." So he gave up all his penance, and he went to Mandata and asked for a daughter. And Mandata was looking at this person. He had all disheveled skin and old person. How can he marry his beautiful daughters? So he kind of wanted to send him away. So he didn't want to get cursed either by this great rishi. So he said, "Oh, if my daughter agrees, I will marry you to my daughter." So Shaubhati Rishi understood that, oh, he's trying to send me away. So he turned into a beautiful, handsome young man because he was so powerful. And then he saw the 50 daughters. The 50 daughters got so enchanted by this young man. They all wanted to marry uh, this Saubhari Rishi. And Saubhari Rishi got married to all the 50 daughters, and he had 100 sons from each daughter. So totally 5,000 kids were born. And then he was living a big family life. Then he understood that, oh, I was just focused on the Lord, living as a brahmachari. And why did I get attracted for family life suddenly? And then he understood his mistake was, and just because he saw two fishes together, a male and female fish coming together, he got attracted to have a wife and kids. So he understood why that was happening was because he had offended Garuda. So Garuda was eating fish one time, and he cursed Garuda never to come to where he is doing his meditation. And Garuda, being a great devotee of the Lord, obeyed him, but because he offended a great Garuda is Krishna's bird, right? So the eagle. So Shabri Rishi, that's why Shabri Rishi's offense created the situation where his focus went away, and finally this one person became a 5,000 kid family. And then when he realized that, then he took his wives and went to the forest to focus just on the Lord, and they went back home, back to Godhead. So that's it. Sorry, we went a little over. We can quickly finish the Kahoot if there's no other questions. And there are 14 questions today. So let's start. Any questions or any comments on what we covered so far? We finished the first 6 chapters of the 9th canto today. The game pin is 94992. 94992. You can either scan this or you can put the pin in.
Prabhuji, please wait for me.
Of course, of course. Yeah, just let
It's
me know when you're ready.
my computer is going hang.
Oh, can you get a phone?
I have my phone, but it's not working. Please wait.
Oh, the phone should be different from the computer. You can just go to kahoot.it, or if you have the Kahoot app, put the pin in. So,
Yes, Prabhuji,
and
please
then
wait a minute.
maybe you can turn off your video. That might give you some more bandwidth. Um,
Yes, I think it's
ye-
going.
yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Papa,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Papa,
Krishna Hare
पापा
Hare,
क्या ये कंप्यूटर तो हैंग सा हो रहा है
Hare
हैंग
Rama, Rama
मैं
Rama,
कहूँ
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
कहूँ
Krishna
तो आई
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
कहूँ
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hello,
Krishna.
um, my, my name is Navi, and I'm joining from my name on
Yes.
another device.
Okay.
कहूँ
Yes. So that's what you need to do. You can join with any name. You can just put the pin 94992.
Yeah.
Okay. Navishti. Got it.
Yeah.
So that's you.
प्रभु जी प्लीज वेट अ मिनट
Okay, sure, sure.
यस
Nama Om Vishnupataya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Okay, Tarunji has joined, so let's start.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for waiting.
Oh, no worries. It's always good to chant while we wait. So we are covering Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th canto, 1st to 6th chapter. 14 questions. What was the name of Sadyumna when he became a woman? Parvati, Sukanya, Ila, Mandata. Yes, Ila is the right answer. What was the forest, if entered by males, would transform into female? Dandaka, Amazon, Vrindavan, Sukumara. Yes, Sukumara. Dandaka forest is where Lord Ram went. Okay, third question. How many sons did Vaivasvata Manu get after his eldest son Sadyumna retired? 2, 1, 10, 100. So we are discussing about the descendants of Vaivasvata Manu. Yes, so it's actually 10. Discuss about Nabhaga. Okay, Prasadra was one of those 10, was cursed by Vaivasa to be born as a Sudra. Did the curse take effect or no? No, you're right. Because he became a great devotee and the Lord stopped that karma from happening when he unknowingly killed that.
I misclicked.
Oh, that's okay. That's how we learn. Okay, Saryati's daughter Sukanya married the old sage Dash, Durvasa, Vasishta, Chavana, Vishwamitra. Oh, all of you got Chavana Rishi right. That's excellent. Amazing. Okay. What was given in return to Ashwini Kumaras for making Chavana Rishi young? Somaras, gold, bhakti, good voice. Somaras is the right answer. Yeah, they wanted Somaras and they said they'll make Chavana Rishi young. Okay. Which father and daughter went to Brahma in search of a good husband? Vasudev, Subhadra, Drupada, Draupadi, Vrishabhanu, Radha, Kukudmi, Revati. Yes, Kukudmi is the king and Revati is the daughter. Okay, who was the son of Nabaga who got wealth from sacrifice blessed by Shiva? Nabaga, Arjuna, Dasharatha, Kakudmi. Oh, all of you got that right. Nabaga's son. No, sorry. Nabaga is the son of Nabaga. Very good. Just as Vasudeva is the son of Vasudeva. Okay, who was the son of Nabaga who was a great devotee of the Lord, protected by the Lord's disc or Sudarshan? Balram, Ambarish, Krishna, Vaivasvata. Ambarish Maharaj. Very good. All of you got that right. That's the most important story for today. And all of you aced that question. Excellent. Okay. How did Durvasa create a demon for punishing Ambarish for not waiting for him before he broke his fast? So he bought a demon from skin, hair, nail, or spit. Actually, hair. He took his hair and threw it on the ground, and this big fiery demon came out. 11th question. What was the name of son of Vaivasvata Manu born from his knees? Sadyumna, Ikshwaku, Prasadra, Kavi. Yes, Ikshwaku. We said Ikshwaku. It's the sound of sneezing. So his name became Ikshwaku. All right. Okay, why was Saubhari Muni's penance disturbed when he saw two fishes uniting? Offense of Garuda, pride of being a great sage, wanting to live a householder's life, wanting to take a break. So actual correct answer is offense of Garuda. We mentioned how Garuda was eating the fish from the lake, and this Saubhari Rishi cursed Garuda, though Garuda is the great exalted vehicle of the Lord. Okay, second last question for today. What did Mandada tell Saubhari Muni when he wanted to marry one of his daughters? He does not like how Saubhari Muni looks. He only marries his daughter to Kshatriya kings. He will agree if the daughter agrees. Yes, that's the right answer. Yeah, so this is correct. One of you got, he does not like how Saubhari Muni looks. That is correct, but he didn't tell that to Saubhari Muni. What did Mandada tell Saubhari Muni? Okay. So we are doing the last question for today. So last question for today is, which sage married the 50 daughters of Mandata? Vishwamitra, Vashishta, Chawana, or Saubhari? Yes, Saubhari is the right answer. So he came out of the water and then went to the king, and the king told any of the daughters can, if they like it, they can marry. Okay, Nitinji is in third place. Navishti, second place. First place goes to Krishna devotee, which is Ayana. So congratulations to everybody who played. Vancha kalpada rupascha kripa sindhupya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. See you all next week for more interesting stories from Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto. Hari Hari Bol. And when 9th canto finish, we'll be getting into Lord Krishna's pastimes. That's what the 10th canto is. So see you all next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.